There is something that happens when a client brings AI into the room, not as a question they are curious about, but as a problem they are scared of. The energy is different. There is urgency, and often bad information. Most of us know this conversation is hard to hold. Let's talk about its shape. Picture the client walking in. They have just read something alarming, or their organization announced an AI initiative, or their role got restructured. They arrive with conclusions already formed and fear attached to them. Here is the move most coaches miss. Your first job is not to address the conclusions. It is to notice the state the client is in. That is not passive. It is precise. A client running on urgency cannot evaluate anything. Before you touch the problem, name what is happening in the room. That naming is the work. The conversation you're about to have is not career counseling. Career counseling forecasts the labor market and advises which tools to learn. A career coach might have that conversation. This is not it. The coaching version works the client's own agency, values, and capacity. Remember the in the business versus on the craft line from Module 1. The forecast and the tool list are execution work. You are not the authority on it. What is on the craft is the client's own judgment about their own life. You are not the expert in this room. You are the steady partner who helps them see clearly. Pause here for a moment. Think about a client whose role is being reshaped by AI right now. What would you normally do with the first 5 minutes of that conversation? Take 30 seconds with that, honestly. Notice your own pull toward reassurance, toward handing over information, toward fixing. Good. Hold that answer. We are going to come back to it. The conversation has a shape, 3 moves, and I want to be clear what a move is here. These are not steps you run in order. They are orientations, ways of holding the conversation while it unfolds. Hold the uncertainty. Separate signal from hype. Work the agency. Each is simple to name. None is easy to hold because each asks you to resist a pull in the opposite direction. The client wants a forecast. They want you to tell them whether their role survives. You do not give them one. You are not withholding. Forecasting AI's effect on a specific role is genuinely hard. The research is contested, the timelines are disputed. So the most honest thing you can offer is a question. What do you know for certain versus what are you assuming? Pretending you can predict the future is placation, not coaching. Your steadiness in the face of real uncertainty is itself the teaching. The client learns to hold ambiguity by watching you hold it. The second move is separating signal from hype, and the radiologist's story is the calibration tool. In 2016, Geoffrey Hinton, the man many called the godfather of AI, said publicly that hospitals should stop training radiologists because AI would make them obsolete within 5 years. 8 years later, there are more radiologists than ever, and everyone uses AI daily. The pattern recognition got absorbed. The judgment calls got amplified. You use this not to reassure the client, but because you are not swept by the apocalyptic take either. The coaching question: which parts of what you do require human judgment that AI structurally cannot perform? The third move ends the conversation in the right place, not with a strategy you delivered, with a discovery the client reached. The question is simple: what part of this is in your control right now? It narrows the field from the overwhelming to the actionable, and it hands authorship back to the client. This is the same principle from Module 5, the mirror, not the prescription. The trap is failing to honestly evaluate the choice. Your job is not to steer the client toward a decision, but to help them evaluate with open eyes. So, pull it together. Hold the room before you touch the problem. The client does the evaluating. You surface the questions. And one mistake to name plainly. The temptation is to reassure AI won't replace you, your skills are too important. That is a forecast, and it undermines the client's ability to evaluate honestly. So you have the shape of the conversation. The question is whether there are tools that make it more concrete. There are, but the way you use them is everything, and that is what we are looking at next.